What up, people? Von Red One here, and this is going to be my review for the Ratchet and Clank movie. I unfortunately can't say a lot of things about this movie in a positive light. This was definitely a disappointment. I mean, especially after how good the game was. I was thinking the movie was going to be good, but what we got was something with potential, but it never even comes close to hitting that potential. So I'll start with the pros because there are a decent amount of pros, which gave me like hope for the first third of the film. Decent animation. I mean, Insomniac Games literally created the assets for this game, and Rainmaker just put it together to make the movie. So, especially considering this was made by a game developer, this is some really good animation. I mean, it verges from decent to kind of good. There's nothing that looks bad in this movie, which there's at least that, because I was worried about that when I heard that Insomniac was making the assets, because I'm thinking this is just gonna look like a video game, like running on PC. But nope, it actually looks really good. I mean, for example, during the game they show some of the scenes from the movie, and you can easily tell those apart from the game. So I was like, okay, that's definitely from the movie. So yeah, animation is decent. They have a good voice cast. They have a lot of stars in this movie. I mean, James Arnold Taylor and David Kaye are the main stars because it's Ratchet and Clank. But they've got like Paul Giamatti as Drek, Sylvester Stallone as Victor Von Ion, Rosario Dawson as Alaris. Pretty good star-filled cast, and for the most part, they all do pretty good. The voice acting ranges from okay to good. So the voice cast was good. There's a good variety of weapons in the film. I was worried about that because early reviews were saying that they didn't take advantage of the game's crazy arsenal. I mean, I would have liked to see a few more, or like my personal favorites, but they had a good variety of weapons. It wasn't just the like combustor the whole movie, which I was scared of. So, good variety of weapons throughout the film. And the first third of the film was actually good. It was making me think this is gonna work. The first third was actually really good. There were some cool Easter eggs in there. I won't say what they were. I don't want to spoil it, but there's some really cool Easter eggs for everything like PlayStation. Some of the jokes are actually funny. I was worried about that because the humor in this was hit and miss. Like they were showing in the trailer freaking social media jokes, and I'm like, oh god, please don't. They're in here. Some of them are bad, but then some of them aren't bad, and then there's some jokes that are actually just funny. So yeah. That's good. And the after credits scene, stay after the not the whole credits, but just stay after the cast goes by. There's a cool scene at the end that was arguably the best part of the whole movie. And now we get to the negatives of this film, which oh boy. Alright, the plot in the last third. You can tell this movie was rushed. You can tell. First off, this is only a 94-minute film. It didn't feel like that. It felt longer. That's not good. The last third of this film completely destroys itself with inconsistencies and a bad plot towards the end. The character motivations here. Ratchet is literally Luke Skywalker for kids. This movie feels like Star Wars for kids. I'll get more into that later, but the character motivations, I just want to do more. That stereotypical film trope of, oh, I feel like I was destined for more, or destined for greatness. That trope, like, you're putting it in Ratchet and Clank, god damn it. The game, I mean, like, the original game didn't really focus on that trope. It was like, Clank is, he knows Drek's plan, he has to tell someone. So you're like, oh, well, if that means I can get off this planet, sure, I'll help you out. So, like, you know, the character is doing it for his own personal gain. That's not so good for a character, but that's still better than this stupid-ass trope of I was destined for greatness. We've seen that so many times, and now it's put into a reimagining of a game that didn't have that problem in the original. They changed something that was bad for something worse. And I'm talking about the original when I say bad, because like that was a bad reason for Ratchet to help, but still, the character development of that series grew to like the future series where, yeah, it was all resolved. The Galactic Rangers, in my review of the game, I said they were bland. I still have the same opinion now. The character development in this movie was better than the game, I'll give it that, but it still just lacked what was necessary for these new characters. You're making a new game with new characters, and you're not introducing them. It's like, oh well, yeah, like, we have new characters, but you should just focus on Ratchet and Clank and the other characters from the original. Like, if you're not gonna put time and effort into these new characters, don't put new characters into the film or the game for that matter. I already said it took too much from Star Wars. I mean, the same can be said from the original game, but the original game was still somehow different enough. This was literally Star Wars. You have ship fights. I mean, the deplanetizer. Fuck. Literally a discount Death Star. They did do something different with it in here for like the reason why, but like still, and in the original game, but still, it's a discount Death Star. Like I said, Ratchet is like Luke Skywalker. It's the oh man. But yeah, what else is in here? Inconsistencies. Oh man. Yeah, first of all, Insomniac said this shit the same story as the game. No, that was a flat out lie, because things that happen in the game do not happen in this movie. Things that happen in this movie do not happen in the game. And it's not like they couldn't fit it in because, you know, like they want to have the game be separate. No, like there's stuff that happens in here that happens in the game, but they're completely different in how it happens. Like how one of the characters gets ended off. Actually, how like multiple characters get ended off. The game did it completely different, or it didn't show it at all, and you just think, oh, well, okay, that's how that happened. So I was like, what the hell? Insomniac, this isn't even close to the same story. It's like similar, but they have a lot of differences, which is not good. Like, you literally say it's the same story, the game just expands on it more. This isn't expanding. This is straight up abandoning the canon that you just created. So yeah, like that was just a flat out lie. That's why it's bothering me so much. I hate when devs lie about this kind of stuff. And yeah, like, inconsistencies within the movie itself. Like there's a scene where like, this isn't a spoiler because like it's Ratchet and Clank. You know this is where Quark like betrays you or whatever. So you go back to the deplanetizer where you fight him again. And Ratchet's mad. He's like, you're just like nefarious. You know better than him. Then, like 5 minutes later, when he's about to get like sucked in by a weapon, he's like, "Come on, you're not as bad as nefarious." Like, you just said this. You literally just said he was. Like, and that's just one example of that. Like, the inconsistencies in this movie stick out like a sore thumb. Like, I was literally like, "What the fuck?" Like, it just got weird at how inconsistent it was with itself, which is not a good sign. And what else? Any of the jokes. Like, some of them were funny. I legit laughed a few points in this movie. Some of the jokes were actually good. But then you have the social media jokes. Hashtag, all this bullshit that doesn't need to be put in films. It dates it more than it should. We don't need this in movies. Please stop. It like ruined. There was a running gag where the Blar kept texting behind Drek's back. And like what they did in the end about that was actually funny. Like at the end. But still, a texting joke. Another fucking texting joke in a movie. Oh my god, stop. And this is a Ratchet and Clank movie. When the first game came out, this wasn't a thing. Or at least it wasn't as prevalent in 2002. But still, like, don't make a joke. And there was multiple times in the film this happened. Very, very, very bad. Like, oh man. So, like, yeah, like, my final thoughts for this movie. What was the name of the song that was the like official theme for this? Bad News Travels Fast. That sums up the movie actually. So they made a good job choosing the song for this movie. I gotta give this a 5 out of 10. It's watchable. It's not the worst video game movie ever made by far. I mean, this is nowhere near as bad as like Mario Bros or Doom. Like I could watch this again and at least get something out of the first third. I can't watch Mario Bros. Or I can't watch Doom. Like, I literally can't watch Doom. It got so dark in some parts. It's like they forgot to have lights. Like, yeah, but this movie does nothing to help the genre come into film. Like, I was thinking this would be the first good video game movie that could, like, change how people view them. But nope. Another one that's just mediocre. Or just, in this case, bad. Like, I hate calling this movie bad because there's definitely far worse. But this is just a bad movie. And, like, they say fans like it. I mean, if you're a fan of just the characters and not the games, yeah, I can see you liking this. But if you played all the games like I have, this is just... So, yeah, I recommend the game. The game was fantastic. 9 out of 10 is what I gave it. You can check out that review. I'll have the link in the comments section. But yeah, I can't recommend the movie. Like, if you see it, I mean, they're already advertising it for a freaking PSN for you can free to pre-order it. I mean, if you find it like maybe Redbox or some shit, just rent it and do it for yourself. I mean, if you want to see it in theaters, go ahead. Like I said, it's watchable. It's not unwatchable. But yeah, just 5 out of 10 is all I can say. I'm disappointed drastically with Sony and Rainmaker. And the Sly Cooper movie depended on this movie's success. Currently, it's at $2.2 million made so far. I don't think we're getting that Sly movie because yeah, like not only is this not making that much money back, but it's also getting negative reviews. And yeah, I don't agree with those people giving it a 2 because a 2 implies that the movie does nothing right except maybe like one scene or something. Like I said, the whole first third of this movie is definitely watchable and it's definitely enjoyable. It's just the rest. The second third is decent. I was like, okay, this is starting to lose me. And the last third was just the plot caved in on itself. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Ratchet and Clank movie. 5 out of 10. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. Maybe you liked it. I mean, I wanted to, but yeah, I'm gonna play the game. That's the true greatness. Greatness awaits. It wasn't the movie. So play the game based on the movie, based on the game. Don't watch the movie based on the game, based off the movie, based off the game. Those are my recommendations from anyone concerned about this new Ratchet and Clank canon. I actually want them to. If they want to keep this canon for the games, I'm okay with that. But I don't want, nor do I think we're going to get another movie because it was rushed. This movie needed to be longer, more character development, a better plot, etc., etc. But I could go on all day about this movie. At the end of the day, your opinion is what matters most. So let me know down below how you feel about it. And on that note, I'm out. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to That One Nation under PC and PlayStation. And we are a little over 1 week away from Uncharted 4. Now that, my friends, will be the true greatness of this year. Peace.